Well, after waiting for the highlights, because this game was only on ESPN and I could not watch it, and completely stalling and forgetting about the video I needed to make, this is coming up fairly late. But does it really matter with this score? I mean, this was a total defensive sloshing of the defenders, who, by the way, have never lost at home until today, where the Battlehawks come in and absolutely destroy the defenders 45-12. And you would think this would have been an offensive masterclass, when really our offense played pretty mid. It was the defense. 4 turnovers. Let me talk about the special teams too. 2 whole punt blocks. This was just a masterclass for the defense and the special teams. And if the offense capitalized on everything they were given, we'd be up by 70. We'd be up by 70 dang points. This was a complete destruction of the home team, and the Battlehawks honestly take the position of one of possibly the best team in the league. We're basically tied with Birmingham, and if not for a 64-yard field goal by the greatest kicker of all time, we'd be 5-0, toe-in-toe with the Stallions. I wish I could have watched this game, because it's probably one of the biggest blowouts one of my favorite teams have ever had, at least in my lifetime of watching them. But let's get into the review. Again, like I said, McCarron didn't even have the best day possible. He fumbled once, which we'll see later. He only went 14 for 24 with 213 yards, which is still pretty good. He averaged 8.9 with 2 touchdowns, and his QBR was 115.5. Again, this isn't even McCarron's best day. He did good. He didn't do great. If he did great, he'd have 5 touchdowns, which is crazy. But a lot of it came from rushing, where we got 3 of our touchdowns on the day. Sailors, Gallman, who's our backup quarterback. He obviously didn't throw, though. And Wilkins. Sailors ran 12 for 52 for an average of 4.3, and his long was 11. Gallman ran 10 for 31 with an average of 3.1 and a long of 15. And Wilkins ran 2 times for 11 yards, 5.5 average, and a long of 6. And McCarron obviously ran twice for 1 yard, and his long was 3. So, like I said, not the best game from our offense. But the running game is definitely looking better than it did week 1 and week 2. So I'm very proud of that. And then for receiving, Butler absolutely balled. 6 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a long of 80. I want you to go find that play where he caught that one-on-one ball and ran it all the way for a touchdown, because he absolutely mossed that guy. That was his long on the day, and if you subtract that, he's still got like 60-something yards, which is still crazy. Of course, he's targeted 9 times as well. And for our other receivers, they did not catch touchdowns, but they also had good days. Pearson caught 3 for 43, his long was 29. Sailors caught 4 for 17, his long was 12. Aitman only caught 1 ball for 6 yards, and Mitchell and Everett did not catch a ball, but Mitchell was targeted twice and Everett was targeted 1 time. Now, again to our defense. Not the biggest sack day. We got 2 sacks. There are a lot of players on here, but and also we had 6 tackles for losses, but we had 3 interceptions on the day. 1 coming from Rose, another coming from Sebastian, and the other one coming from Kelly. There were also 4 pass deflections on the day. And it's obviously come a long cry from when we thought our defense was not good. This was a defensive masterclass of a pretty good team. Shoot. So, really good that our defense is stepping up to the plate, especially on a average offensive day for the Battlehawks. I mean, without those picks, it's probably like 20-12. We'd still probably win, but it's probably like 20-12. And the craziest thing is, if it shows scoring somewhere, well, it did. It was 20-12 going into the fourth quarter. We scored 25 whole points going into the in the fourth quarter, which is insane. To the fumbles, McCarron did fumble and lose one. That was the only turnover that we had on the day that we gave to the defenders. But that was very early in the game, so it didn't affect too much. Don't know why it has McCarron listed twice. Probably just a glitch. Teopano, coming back from injury, forced the fumble that we got, and Harvey picked up the fumble. Sorry about that. Jackson, our kick returner, only returned 3 times for 114 yards. His long was 58, and he averaged 38 yards per return. We had 2 punt returners on the day. 1 by Mitchell, he went 1 for 27. And 2 by Pearson, he went 2 for 12. His long was 11, so he had 1 with 1 yard. And again, with the special teams performance, Smite had a perfect day today. His long was 51, and he kicked a perfect 4-4. Our punter, Hoffrichter, averaged 41.7, and he punted 3 times. One of them was in the 20, and his long was 49. Now we go look at the defenders' sad stats. We have Jordan Teamu throwing 101 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Is he a top quarterback in the league? I don't think so. And then Frank Hoy came in. He threw over 2. At least he didn't throw a pick, though. White ran 15 for 33. Teamu ran 4 for 26. He has some good legs, though, so that's good for the defenders. And Harris ran 11 for 25. All around okay day for their rushing aspect, with Harris also getting a touchdown, but wasn't enough. For the receivers, don't know why that guy has a hyphen. Harmon caught 4 for 37 on a touchdown. Smith caught 3 for 25. Ellis caught 2 for 18. Rollin caught 1 for 10. Coty also caught 1 for 10. White caught 1 for 1. And Smith did not catch a ball, but he was targeted twice. Obviously, no interceptions. There was some sacks, though. 3 sacks for them. 6 tackles for losses. And 1 pass deflection by Joseph, who had a pretty good day, to be honest, with 11 total tackles. And whatever that SOL is, I don't know what that means, really. Tiamu fumbled. Fisher forced the fumble and got it for the defenders. For the kick returns, Rollins had the bulk of the day, 7 for 54. They obviously had to kick return a lot because we put up a lot of touchdowns and field goals. And White did it once for 6. Rowland also did punt returns, 3 punts for 20 yards, as long as 13. McCrane missed his only field goal on the day. That was the doink. It would have been 17-14 if he had made that. So, no, it would have been 17-15 if he had made that. So, glad he missed that. That pretty much switched the whole momentum. And Brooks punted 3 times, as well as our punter, for 45-7 average inside the 21, and his long was 52. Now, time to the total matchup. We had it pretty even, 29-30, basically 30 on both sides. We both had 15 drives. We actually had less plays than the defenders, 53-57, but we had 280 total yards to their 163. We had 5.3 yards to their 2.9. We had 4 red zone touchdowns to their 2, and we were in the red zone 8 times compared to their 2. So obviously, we had to kick a lot of field goals when we were in the red zone, but we still got the points. That's all that really matters. Passing. These are passing averages, not total passing yards, obviously. We had 185 to their 79. We had 14 completions to their 12, but we also had 24 pass attempts to their 25, so pretty much very even on the passing attempts. But we had 2 passing touchdowns. They had 1. We had 7.7 yards per attempt, while they had 3.2. And then obviously, combined rushing would be 95 to their 84. Well, we had 26 attempts while they had 30. We averaged 3.7 while they averaged 2.8. And we had 3 rushing touchdowns to their 1. Again, for the turnovers, we had 1, which was a fumble. They had 4, which is 1 fumble and 3 interceptions by Jordan Teamo. This win, unexpected slomping of the DC Defenders, puts us at 4-1, top of the schedule. The Brahmas lead close behind, but of course, we won our game against them, I believe away. Yeah, we won against them away, so it's looking good for us that we hold home field advantage in the XFL Championship, at least right now. We don't know how things are going to play out, but for right now, we hold a half a game to the Brahmas. I believe that's how it works. For the home field advantage in the XFL Championship. At least, if that's how it works. Of course, Brahmas also 4-1. But this puts us 2.5, if I'm doing this right, games ahead of the Defenders, since we beat the Defenders away, by the way. This puts us 2.5 games back, which is basically 3 games. It puts them 3 games back of at least making the XFL playoff, the UFL playoffs, which is good for us because there's 5 games left, and we still play the Roughnecks twice. No, we already played the Roughnecks. I don't know what I'm saying. Did we play the Roughnecks? Oh wait, I'm thinking of last year because last year the Roughnecks were a part of the XFL. Now they're part of the USFL. So I was thinking we played them twice. We only play the Roughnecks once, which is our next game, by the way. I, again, will not be able to watch it because I will actually be at a track meet this time. Because I'm not sick like I was last time. But yeah, we play the Roughnecks next. And then, huge game against the Stallions, of course. But, again, Defenders are basically 3 games back with 5 games left to go. And that's even stating that the Brahmas still hold out, which they might not. So right now it's looking really good that we will make up the XFL Championship. And I'd be guessing that we would be favored in any game against any XFL team if they were to make the XFL Championship on the way to the UFL Championship overall. But on a side note, though, I feel really bad for the Renegades and Luis Perez. Luis has been balling out. He's been playing great. He has over 1,000 passing yards, which McCarron just got this game today. But I feel really bad for Luis Perez. He's playing lights out, and they're still 0-5. They might go 0-10 on the year. That'd be really disappointing for the former XFL champions. Not championships. Stallions, they're 5-0. That game on the 7th is going to be huge between us and the Stallions. Ooh, that's going to be a great game. Shoot. I scrolled too far. I mean the 11th. I meant week 7, obviously. That game's going to be huge. It's basically going to decide who's the best team in the league. And it might ruffle up some kind of, like, I don't know how to put this. It might take the momentum out of one team. So that game will be huge on week 7. Panthers, after winning today against the Showboats, hold also, I believe, a 2.5 game lead to the Showboats and the Roughnecks, although Roughnecks suck. So I'm guessing it's going to be Stallions, Panthers in the USFL Championship, and Battlehawks, Brahmas in the XFL Championship. And then if I had to predict right now, it'd obviously be Battlehawks, Stallions in the UFL Championship overall. So that's why this week 7 game is so important, because it's basically going to determine who has the momentum going in to that to the UFL playoffs, who would be favored in the UFL Championship. And although we will have home field advantage if we make the UFL Championship because we are hosting it, it'd still be a really close game. So this is why this game is so important for us. But that's all I really have to say today. Glad the Battlehawks absolutely whooped the Defenders. Glad the Battlehawks ruined the Defenders' 10-game home streak. And I hope to see you guys next week, when I will also have to watch, although the meet might be over by then, where I will also probably have to watch, where I will also have to watch highlights before I can post the video. Thanks for watching, and peace.